I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame, though it might be nice to own a jet plane.
Hey guys, good morning. It's been about a week ago and I've popped up my first two videos, had quite a couple of views, quite a couple of responses, not only on the channel but actually also outside of the channel, which was a lot of fun. I've had some comments with regards to what I should be including, what should I be excluding, what stuff I should be talking about and all that stuff. So this week I hope to be commenting a little bit on that. First off, I'd just like to thank everybody who did take the time to have a quick peek at the video and to give me some feedback on it. I've been working on the sound, so I've actually got my telephone lying right here, and I really hope that by projecting my voice at it, that the audio will be good. And if it isn't, please forgive me, because I've really tried to make it work this week, and I really hope it does, because if it doesn't, well, then I'm a little bit stuck. But we'll just have to live with it this week, and if it doesn't work this week, we'll try something new out next week. First off, I tried to put out a question to you guys with regards to the use of cars and specifically SUVs. Unfortunately, nobody got back to me on that, and I can imagine because it's not that common back in the Netherlands to drive an SUV. So that's okay. I really hope though that this week there will be some comments on what I would like to put into the end of this video, because I actually was thinking of popping that in as an end segment where everybody gets a chance to actually share their opinion. I'm going to put out a little statement, if you will, at the end of the video, because I would really like to have people talking about this, because I think it's an important topic, and it's one of the topics that I was dealing with this week at the company as well. Like, how is this going to, you know, be a part of the future? So to run you through my week as well as I can, on Monday or Tuesday, I'm not exactly sure because the days sometimes blur because there's so much stuff that I'm doing, or on Monday or on Tuesday I went up to Hamilton, which is a city just up north from where I am. I went there together with Dave, who's my boss, and we went there for some meetings and all of that kind of stuff, and we also actually had a look at some cars, which was really nice because we're still trying to hunt for cars. And I actually, for the first time, saw a Mercedes Ute. Quite a peculiar sight because, again, back in the Netherlands, this is not in any kind of way a common kind of car. But around here, because of the way the roads are and the way people live, it is a much more used car to have a Ute. Yeah, it's kind of cool to see what they have here and what the differences are with the Netherlands. So that was quite a big difference. So that was on, and then in the rest of the week, we went down to Torangi a couple of times, which is just around the corner, and we went to Taupo. We met up with a bunch of people. It's been a really hectic week. We've been driving up and down. I think just this week alone, I drove around 300-400 kilometers, maybe even more actually. So that was actually quite cool. Met up with a lot of people, a lot of new faces, a lot of new names. But it's been fun. It's been very interesting as well, because there's a lot of different opinions out there, and there's lots of different views. So it's always, you know, interesting to make that work and make that work together, if you will. And that's actually quite fun. At least I think that's fun. So that's what this week's been about. It's been about meeting a lot of people, and in the meantime I've also been busy on my projects to keep them moving along. So yeah, and funny story for this week. We went to Hamilton, and on our way back we met up with a guy approximately my age, maybe a couple of years older, 5 or 6 years older than I was. We had a nice chat with him. Now, unfortunately, for some reason, I'm really sensitive to coffee, and on top of that, I'd eaten some fatty food earlier that day, which it was at a nice little vegan place, and it was really nice food. But it was rather oily, and I think the combination of that and the coffee gave me diarrhea. So on my way back home, I thought I was gonna die. That's what I felt like. No, that's ridiculous. I wasn't gonna die, but it was intense, and at some point I had to go and tank, and I was driving still, so I pulled into a tank station together with Dave, and I said, I'm gonna go to the toilet for a quick second. I think I spent 15 minutes on the toilet. And after I came off from the toilet, I asked Dave if he wouldn't mind driving. and we went up to a house to pick up a caravan, and I was there, and again I had the feeling I had to. So I really had to hold back to not actually shit my pants. It was just, guys, and it's hysterical. So then we drove back, and I said, Dave, I can't drive right now because I was just not feeling well. So Dave drove back. But for the first 100 kilometers we were doing, and we had a 250 kilometer drive back, I believe, or maybe only 200, but it was a long drive back. And well, for the first 100 kilometers at least, every bump we drove over, I had the feeling I was gonna shit my pants. Oh man, it was intense. But by the time I was home, it actually sort of had solved itself. I don't know how that went, but yeah. I said to Dave as well, I said, that's the last time I'm drinking coffee. And he made a joke and he said, well, every time you go along with me anywhere and we're going to meet people and I have to get you a drink, I'll just say no coffee for you. And it was actually quite funny because later in the week we were standing at a place and meeting up with somebody, and we were standing at the counter, and Dave looked at me and said, what do you want? And I sort of looked at the board, he said, no coffee. And this guy sort of looked at me like, what the hell is this about? And Dave and I had a good laugh about it. So we talked about that as well. But it was quite fun. And yeah, this week in general has been a very productive week with regards to getting into contact with people, as I said. So that's what this week's really been very focused on. We did actually, by the end of the week, get a game of pool in, and we've been busy with this week. This weekend, Dave and I will be measuring out a sort of patio, if you will, for the downstairs floor, which should be fun. I'm going to be measuring that out together with him, or I'm actually going to be measuring it out, and then he's going to, together with me, maybe today, maybe another day, buy some wood. And then we're going to set that up in the coming weeks, in the weekend, whenever we've got a little bit of spare time. But there's a lot of cool stuff coming up this coming week. So I'll get you guys a little bit hyped about that, for those watching again, obviously. This coming week, we'll start off by going to Hamilton. And then after we've gone to Hamilton, we come back to Tokanu, where I currently am living as well. And then from Tokanu, I will go towards Christchurch, which is on the South Island. So I'm actually going to take a boat together with Dave to the South Island, and we're going to be there for nearly an entire week. We're going to have 5 nights there, so it's an entire work week. I believe we drive down there on Friday, then we have an expo on Saturday and Sunday, then we have a load of meetings from Monday through Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Then on Wednesday evening we're going to drive back, and then on Thursday morning on our way back we'll be running into somebody somewhere, and then we're going to meet there as well again, because this week I actually went in Jarangi to go for a walk as well, and Dave and I went for a really beautiful walk next to a river. I forgot my camera again, so that's bloody stupid. So on the way down to Christchurch, I hope to, and I was actually, based on the advice people were giving, I'm actually thinking of putting that as the main video, and then maybe just put my audio or my small screen with me talking to you guys in a small screen, and just have me as a sort of background commentary on all the stuff that's happening. But that depends a little bit on how good the quality of the video is. But that's stuff for next week, and that's what you guys have got to look forward to. Oh yes, that's actually fun stuff as well. One evening we arrived home really late, and I believe this might have been the Wednesday, and we came home, and Anne had the music on nice and loud, and we were dancing and we were having fun with the 3 of us, and it was actually really we had a really fun evening, and we were just dancing around and being silly with the 3 of us, to be honest. And at some point we sat down and we settled down a little bit, but the 2 dogs became so frisky because of it that Charlie, who's the male dog, who's had a thing for me from day one, actually jumped on top of me and started humping me for like half an hour on and off whenever he got the chance. And then at some point he actually tried the other dog as well, which is a female dog, Sophie, and it was bloody hilarious. So I was looking everywhere to find his toy so he could go into a corner and go hump his toy. But That didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but it was quite funny. And yeah, I wasn't able to get any shots of that, but if that happens again, I'll quickly pull out my camera and try to get some shots of that, because that was pretty funny. So yeah, I think that was the most important parts of this week summarized for you guys. Ridiculous, up and down, all over the place, and it's a really cool way of doing business. I really liked it, but it does eat away days like you wouldn't believe. Like, you go into a meeting at 1 o'clock and you come out and you're like, oh, I think we're only in there for about an hour and a half, and you look and it's like 5 o'clock and you're like, whoa, where did the time go? And you literally just, you just have to accept the fact that you've lost half a day, or you don't lose half a day, but you spend half a day on sort of like trying to get stuff set up, and it's funny to see how that goes, and it's a beautiful process actually to be a part of. So I'm really grateful for the fact that I get to sit in and watch and be part of it all. And yeah, that was this week in a nutshell. So this is where we have this week's little event going on. I would like to start a topic. Now, I work with a company which is obviously really aimed at sustainability and working along with the mind of creating what we call the green economy. Now, for those of you who don't know what the green economy is, I'll give you a really short summary on what it is. The green economy is a principle where we work with plant-based items mainly, and items which are renewable at a fast enough rate that they are renewable within a human lifetime. That's sort of very shortly captured what it means. So it's all about working and living in a sustainable way so we can actually pass on the world to generations after us. And it's really cool to watch a company owned by people who are way older than me, and no offense to their age or anything, but people who are way older than me, be so fanatic at wanting to not save the world, but just make the world a better place for the next generations. And in that, if the side effect of that is that you sort of save the world as well, then that's a beautiful side effect. So it's actually really cool to be a part of that. If any of you have anything that you could share with me, how you in the last 3 years have experienced that the world is transitioning towards a green economy, and it can be research, it can be new companies popping up and that you've been following, or that you have taken part in and you've enjoyed that and you've liked it, please post them down below, send me links in the comments. Obviously, I'll try to get back to you on it. I'll try to read it. I'll try to look at that stuff. I'm really curious to see that, and I'm really curious to see what your experiences have been with the green economy. And obviously, if you want to throw in a quick, if you like it, if you don't, or if you find it difficult to understand, or if you don't know where it's going, and if a lot of people respond saying I have no idea what it's about, then this could be something I throw in as a topic for next week's video. If you've got any kind of company or organization that you've worked with, of which you think, yes, this is cool, this is something that's cool for the guys out there, this is something which is cool for me and for the hemp farm, obviously, to sort of look at and compare and share and, and spread that knowledge, that would be fantastic. I would love to have that kind of information. I'm a big fan of the green economy. I hope some of you also had a quick peek at the hemp farm. They have been the best hosts in the world for me, and it has been an absolute beautiful time with the team. On the Facebook page, actually, at the moment, there are people able to win tickets for the Green Expo in Christchurch next week, where I'll be going to. So if you want to go there, make sure to like and share the Facebook post that's out there, and you can win, I believe, 2 tickets a person to go there with a family member or a friend. And yeah, obviously we'll meet you there if you're going there. We'll be there with a stand of the hemp farm, so anybody out in New Zealand who's watching this as well, come meet us there, come say hello, come shake a hand, and come see what kind of cool stuff we've got to show you. For this week, this is what I had to share with you guys. That was a little bit of a story about my week. There was a little bit of a story about what I'm doing with the company. I hope to be able to share some pictures again like I did last week. I hope you guys liked the last video. Again, feel free to comment and feel free to give me feedback on whatever could be better, or whatever was good, or whatever was great, or whatever was horrible. Please be kind though. And I hope for this coming week to get really cool shots out there. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Thank you to everybody who did subscribe last week. It's actually quite crazy. I think I've already got up to 11 people subscribed, and I know if you compare to some of the people out there, it's nothing, but I think it's really cool because I like to have people having a peek into what we're doing, and I would like to thank everybody who's watching, and yeah, see you guys next week. So thanks and bye-bye. Ciao.
Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see us